Today, we're going to compare the Kubota B2601 to the Kubota B26. Not that there's much of a comparison. Hey guys, Zach here from Kubota of Lynchburg, and today I wanted to real quick go over the two models, this B2601 and the B26. There's confusion when you're first looking at the Kubota models because they both start with the same thing, the B26. So what's the differences between the two? Why should I get one versus the other? Well, the first thing and most obvious thing might be price point. This thing, depending on how you get it and accessorized, is probably going to be at least $40-some thousand. It only comes with the tractor loader backhoe. You cannot get it without the loader and the backhoe, and this is a construction grade machine. Whereas this tractor loader right now is going to be costing you probably around $21,000, $22,000. You add a backhoe and you might hit that $30,000 range, but you get a lot more of an affordable piece of equipment. So what are the major differences between these two? So maybe you are looking at a B2601 with a backhoe and you say, I really like the look of that B26. Maybe I should go with that one. Well, the B2601 is what I will call a residential grade machine as far as what its use is designed for. So it's a lighter machine. Tractor loader backhoe on this one is going to be weighing around, I think it's something like 2,800 pounds. Whereas this setup is over 4,000 pounds. So you're talking about another 1,200 to 1,400 pounds of weight behind this machine. And that basically comes from how sturdy it is built. So you can see already behind me, it looks like a slightly larger machine. And it is in fact a slightly larger machine. The tires are just a little bit bigger, but you get a lot more as far as you have your 4-post ROPS here that goes up. It comes with that, comes with a canopy with work lights on it. But you can see how much steel is here. Basically, I call this a beginner construction grade machine on the B26. It is heavy duty, it's robust, it's got a lot of protective guards. If you look at your loader arms here, you actually have different pivot points you can put it in to control basically whether you want your dig out force versus a higher lift capacity and everything. Everything is massive and thick and heavy steel here. So while you have the exact same engine underneath the hood, they're both a 24.8 horsepower Kubota diesel engine. They both produce 19.5 horsepower at the rear PTO. The rest of it is what adds up, and that a lot comes down to the weight of the machine and your hydraulics. This B26 is going to have a nicer hydraulic system. It's going to have a pump and motor system and transmission system that puts out over 11 gallons per minute, whereas the B2601 is just about 8 gallons per minute. So this translates to what implements and what usage you can use. This loader will lift about 1,400 pounds, whereas that one is only rated for about 900 pounds. So again, you can pick up a pallet of something much easier with this. If you were to put a backhoe on the back of a B2601 and compare it to this backhoe back here, this dig depth is over 8 foot. I think it's like 8 foot 3 inches or something like that as far as dig depth goes on this. Nice, solid, heavy duty backhoe. The one on the B2601 only goes about 7 foot. Now this gets mounted a little bit more difficultly. It's not as easy to take it on and off the tractor as the B2601. It's designed to have this backhoe on at basically all points. Now you can pull it off. You can put a 3-point hitch on, but it's not as easy. So if you're that homeowner and you're saying, I want a tractor that's hydrostatic, they both are hydrostatic, but less than 25 horsepower, so there's no emissions on it, but I want to have something nice and easy to take the loader on and off, the backhoe on and off, you'd probably want to look at the B2601. It's a lot more affordable, it's a lot easier to use, it's a lot easier to maintain, and it's just not quite as heavy duty or robust. You probably don't need all that. Now, if you're a homeowner that says, look, I'm going to damage my equipment, all right, maybe the B26 is the one for you. Or if you're looking at something tight as far as construction goes, getting it in and out of those tight areas, being able to still dig and lift with it without being too heavy to transport, the B26 is a good option. If we look at the operator station, basically, again, we can see that this one is a little bit more construction oriented. It's not quite as fancy as the other operator station. That one for residential use is a little bit nicer, a little bit more comfortable and easy to use. But again, it still has a hydrostat transmission, so forward and reverse on the pedals here, and you do still have a tilt steering column on both models, but on this one you actually have a little armrest, which is cool. Now you don't have an armrest on your chair, but you got an armrest here to use your loader, because again, they expect you to be using it all day, every day, as far as a long-term use, so they make it a little bit easier to use. But the B2601 has a little bit more comfortable seat, has a little bit nicer armrests, it's a little easier to get in and out of, still has the tilt steering column, actually has cruise control on the B2601, which is kind of nice. This one does not have cruise control. I had to double check real quick and make sure it didn't. So you do have a little bit nicer operator station. You can get in and out of both sides easier on this model. Again, a good homeowner. So your major differences are going to be that weight, that hydraulic pump capacity, and the size of implements that you can use. You know, that one being larger lift capacity, you can pick up more with the loader, you can use larger implements. With the backhoe, you can dig. It's definitely gonna be a lot stronger as far as the backhoe use goes, but you're talking $10,000 to $15,000 more for the B26 versus the B2601. So when you're looking at them and you're comparing, if money's not an issue, B26 is awesome. But you know, if you have just property, a couple acres you're maintaining, I would recommend steering away from the B26 in most cases, sticking with the B2601. We sell 20 of these to one of those, and this is probably what you're gonna be looking for.